The nervous system terminology 101. I'm just using, two little pieces right here. Prefrontal cortex, which we need intact for making logical sense of the world and also for making connection with other people. And the amygdala, two little spots sort of down here in the bottom of the brainstem, that is sort of like our personal fire alarm. It says we're not in a safe space, we're in danger. So Deb Dana says the ability to respond to and recover from the challenges of daily living is a marker of well-being and depends on the actions of the autonomic nervous system. So befriending the autonomic nervous system, particularly the amygdala, is key for emotional regulation and to recover from stresses and challenges. And the vagus nerve plays a crucial role. And I thought, oh, vagus nerve, what's that? Well, this vagus nerve goes from the brainstem all the way through our organs and affects so much of what goes on in us. We want to keep what Stephen Porges calls vagal tone. Vagal tone has got to do with vagus nerve. And you can see it affects emotions. It affects stress response, it affects your breathing. It even affects whether you've got diarrhea or constipation. This vagus nerve needs to stay nice and healthy with good tone. And when we get stressed out, it wears it out. It kind of makes it fragmented. Everything gets activated in a very agitated way. So, and it all starts up here and what we perceive as danger. And oftentimes we aren't perceiving what's danger up here in the prefrontal cortex. All of a sudden the amygdala takes over and we notice some kind of reaction. We're sweating or our heartbeat is going and we go, what the heck's going on? People have anxiety attacks really know this state of this overwhelm of the nervous system. Yeah, it gets triggered, the alarm bell goes off. And part of the work of emotional regulation is taking on the amygdala and saying, heck, you're giving me a false alarm. We're not really in a position of, there's fire happening. We're not really in a position of danger. This is just an old habit that you have of getting triggered. And I'm going to take you on. I think people that worry, I have a client right now, my goodness, she's worrying so much that she's losing weight with her amygdala going off over and over again. And then, of course, when the amygdala goes off, the fight, flee, or collapse response ends up activated, and it's a survival response. It's activated by the amygdala. And a quick little evolution of the nervous system, well, we can think about all mammals have amygdala. So the rabbit is sensing that there's a predator nearby. Now, its response may be exactly what we have. Turn and fight. Turn and fight and go, uh-oh, this isn't going to work. Fighting's not going to work. And then it will flee, run. And if the predator is catching up with the rabbit, it may faint and play dead in a last survival strategy to protect itself. Now we can see this in ourselves. Fight, flee, collapse, oh, I don't know, and go into depression. However, how are we different than most mammals? We developed a strategy of surviving by connection. And so Stephen Porges talks about a social network, social connection that protects us. And you can see this in primitive cultures. And the higher level mammals as well do this of protecting one another in circles. So this is why it's so painful when we get disconnected. And during COVID, disconnection became a very common phenomena. And even in son, daughter, daughter, brother, husband, wife, partner, if we have moments of disconnection, why is it so painful? Because we go into a fear response, whether we acknowledge it or not. Emotional regulation has to do with controlling attention, being able to logically assess what's going on, and manage the nervous system's stress or danger response. And I'll be giving you an example of this later that has to do with the disconnect in a relationship. What happens often with miscommunication. And co-regulation is the process whereby individuals learn to soothe their nervous system stress responses with the support of another person. Now, children, babies, toddlers, children absolutely need this from the adults when they're growing up. They don't know how to regulate their emotions. They need an adult to do it. Doesn't mean the adult does it all the time. There's this disconnect and connect. It's connection, co-regulation, and disconnection, and that the baby learns to trust that the mother or the caregiver will come back to giving attention. It's not that it's there all the time. But I see clients that had not enough co-regulation. They never learned to co-regulate unless they're using alcohol or some other addictive kind of processes to soothe themselves. They didn't learn the processes to self-soothe themselves.